Hi everybody, welcome back to the booth. Everyone's jammed in here for one last round of Legacy.
One last round, one last match. Let's see how it goes.
But I think Randy's pretty excited and fearful about tomorrow.
I just tweeted this, but saw Steve Menendy, and he was almost breathlessly speculating about the attendance number we could put up on Sunday. Because the buzz around this Vintage Champs has just been big.
It's been incredible.
I mean, I feel like Vintage Super League contributed. I feel pretty good about that.
Yes, absolutely.
You guys should feel very proud about that.
And just so many people are so hyped about this tournament and building it up. So Steve says, you know, we might break 400. Look at it, 400.
Yeah.
What was the number last year? Like 320 or something?
So, in that range, yes.
Yeah, it was like, it broke 300.
And the previous year was like 285 or something.
And it was 9 rounds of Swiss, so yeah.
I saw a stat with 5 minutes of pre-registration left, and we're at 472.
Wow.
I just can't imagine.
472?
Yeah,
I don't know what the line is for the 10th round of Swiss, but unlike Legacy, we have to play the top 8 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, we all fly home on Monday. Nobody's playing on Monday. Well, we might be playing at midnight on Monday. You know,
it may technically be Monday.
Philadelphia style, playing in a McDonald's, playing the top 8, the vintage, you know.
It's only appropriate with vintage. Except playing vintage cards on a McDonald's table is a far more costly endeavor than it used to be 15, 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
Luckily, they give away playmats. I want to get one of the. I'm not a playmat guy, but there's a Tolarian Academy playmat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
I may have to see if those are available to commentators. And
is that for the players who are competing in that? Oh, wow.
Actually, I've actually seen some really incredible playmats here this weekend with some of the artists, like like a black and white, like grayscale bolt up at Christopher Rush's booth.
Oh, nice.
Mark Poole did an event one that's like this skeletal dragon getting attacked by colonists, like using some sort of magic and ringing the Liberty Bell at the dragon. I mean, it's kind of incredible. Like, people are very inventive. I mean, they're artists for a reason. But some of the playmats I've seen. But then as you just get to the core of it, the Deathrite Shaman playmats, the Tolarian Academy playmats. I mean, these are incredible.
Sweet.
Maybe the first playmat I actually bring around to play on.
Is there a Gaze Cradle playmat?
I don't know.
I think that was last year.
Was that last year?
I thought that was Legacy last year.
I have to see if I can get one.
Now, normally 472 would not be 10 rounds. 10 rounds kicks in around like 500, but there are buys.
Yes.
Like, there were trials that will award buys, and the players competing in the Legacy top 8 or the WMCQ top 8 can potentially move over. I know Matt Costa, at least from the WMCQ top 8, is eager to play. That's the other thing about this Vintage Champs is pairing it with the WMCQ means we get Reed Duke playing in the Vintage Champs tomorrow because he came into town for the WMCQ.
And then pairing it with Pat Cox's wedding.
That doesn't hurt either. Luis Scott Vargas will be here to play Vintage tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, I always root for Luis to do well, but as a consolation prize, maybe we could twist his arm.
Just well, you both have to do just well enough.
I think you win either way.
Right.
I think it's great watching Luis play, and I think it's great hearing Luis's commentary.
Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, I do worry about that. We may need a 10th round already with 472 plus buys.
Right.
It's 13 rounds of Vintage tomorrow.
I can't wait.
No, it sounds awesome. Like, I know it's going to be late when we finish. I don't care. Like, sleeping is for the plane ride home.
Oh, absolutely. Now, have you gotten any sense of what is in store for tomorrow in Vintage?
A lot of people are putting the room on heavy dredge. All the local dealers are alleged to be sold out of Petrified Field, which is the card you want in dredge against workshops to go get your Bazaar Baghdad back. So people are thinking dredge, and dredge is also, I mean, you don't need as many Power 9 cards to build a dredge deck. You don't need any, in fact. So you just got to get the Bazaars of Baghdad. So it is one of the more accessible Vintage decks. So I think people are expecting a heavy dredge presence. East Coast tournaments usually have a big workshop presence as well. Although, I mean, 475. How many copies of Mishra's Workshop are there on the East Coast, right?
It's very true.
I heard a lot of Academy Belcher.
Really?
Yeah.
That could be fun.
And I was talking to people over at the Grinders. They're moving into the top 8 right now.
Oh, what's the metal like over there?
A lot of workshops.
Really?
A lot of workshops.
Interesting.
Even some players that have sworn off workshops and finally just said, I give up. I'm going to have to play workshops.
Is it workshop like a geographically, like, isn't it like originate in this part of the country?
Very much like the Martello shops and Roland Chang and I don't remember the name of the brothers that really worked out the Farino brothers that worked out the core of the deck for him. I mean,
like
that really is where a lot of that came from.
Constricta, yeah. That Vice documentary was spectacular.
So, I mean, that is where it came from.
It could be heavy. I honestly, like, in my heart of hearts, I think the workshop deck is unfortunately the best deck. Like, I don't want it to be the best deck, but I feel like, yeah, it probably just is the best deck right now.
So one of the most interesting things I saw coming out of multiple dredge sideboards in the grinder is them just boarding into Dark Depths Thespian stage and like Lotus, Mana Crypt, like some goofy ways to make mana here and there. And then just ignoring all the dredge hate and just digging through their deck for their 2-card combo and just trying to win that way.
I've actually messed around with that sideboard playing on Magic Online a little bit. As a reaction to dredge hate, right? All you have to do is play lands. You don't have to resolve a spell. And you don't care about dredge hate. You just Thespian Stage Dark Depths. The problem I found is it's a little slow. Like, it's turn 4, make a 20/20, attack with it on turn 5, assuming you hit all your land drops. I found that in general, that's not a reliable, it's not a fast enough plan for Vintage in general, but maybe against Workshop specifically, it is? Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I don't know, the Workshops, you're good against Workshops though. Like, Workshops is not the matchup where Dredge is in trouble. The presence of Workshops is actually one of the reasons to play Dredge.
For game 1, but like when I was talking to Roland Chang last night, he has 12 cards he brings in against Dredge.
And he still thinks he's a dog.
He does, he still thinks he's a dog, but
that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Today.
Yeah, what's up with Legacy?
So we are going to be watching Sam Roukas one more time. He got paired up. He's at table 4. He's playing against Max Ansbro.
Okay.
Now, Max Ansbro's tournament got off to a bad start. He lost round 1. He has not repeated that mistake for the last 9 rounds.
It's a better choice.
Okay, so 6 people are going to draw in. George Fleet, who was undefeated at 9-0, is now 10-0. So he's in. And, I mean, he can Dream Crush Bob playing if he wants to, but probably they'll just draw in.
Right.
Kyle Rowan and Akash Naidu will draw in. Ed D'Amico, our Grixis Delver player we saw earlier, and Charlie Holland will draw in. That's 6 spots.
Right. Now Max Ansbro would love to be able to draw in.
He could be the 7th, but he won't get to draw because Sam Roukas needs to win. Now, Sam's tiebreakers, I believe, are the best because he
started out 8-0.
He was 8-0. So that matchup amounts to a win and in. Like, small chance that Max backs in with a loss because there'll be 2 spots left. 3 IDs. There's 2 spots left for the winner of that match plus 1.
Right. So other matches just playing with 24 points versus 24 points. Victoria Easel versus Kevin King.
It's like
Anurag Das and Travis Compton, but
I mean, you're probably looking at that first Victoria versus Kevin to be the other person playing for that last spot.
It pairs in tiebreaker order for the last round to make sure that people's incentives are as close as they can be.
Sure.
So probably table 5 is the table with the people with the next highest tiebreakers. So, but I mean, Max Ansbro though, when he loses to fall into that scrum, like it could be that Sam beats Max and then they both make it.
But Max's tiebreakers are probably not great, right? Because he lost round 1. So every time he's won a match, he's handed someone their second loss. People have dropped out of the tournament.
That's a good point. He's at the bottom of the 9 and 1s, but now where would he be relative to the 8 and 2s is less clear.
I mean, it's just relative to the next 2 8 and 2s. Relative to Victoria and Kevin, if I had to guess without having to see any standings, I would think Victoria or Kevin probably have a better breaker.
I agree with you. It's probably the winner of 4 and the winner of 5 will be the last 2.
Max Ansbro, by the way, playing blue-red Splinter Twin.
Oh, really? That's cool. Sounds like those guys might be ready.
We're ready to go down to the floor. We are going to watch. All right, so Sam Roukas playing his Miracles deck against Max Ansbro playing blue-red Splinter Twin. I don't know what format this is, but they tell me it's the Legacy Championships. Let's send it down to the floor. Hello and welcome to the final Swiss round of the Legacy Championships. I'm Brian David Marshall. It's my pleasure to be joined by a pair of Hall of Famers, Randy Buehler and Bob Marr. And
Eternal Weekend pulls out all the stops. What can I say?
and Sam Roukas leads off with Sensei's Divining Top. Have you guys played Splinter Twin in Legacy? Have you seen it in Legacy?
I haven't seen it, watched it, thought about it. I mean, kudos to him. I have heard a number of people complaining about losing to twins today.
Main deck Pyroblast might have a little bit to do with that. It seems like a good read on the field today.
Well, I think they both main deck Pyroblast.
Yeah. Yeah, Roukas has 2.
Oh, that was his solo main deck Pyroblast.
Oh, very nice. And how do you feel about using it on something like a brainstorm that early in the game?
I feel great about it. You have no idea what the construction of their hand looks like. And
that fetch land was in play too, right?
yeah, I mean, the lifeblood of Miracles is getting to fix their hand. And if he has a bunch of bad cards stuck in it, that's where you want to keep him. I mean, the top is going to make his draw steps much, much better, but if he has any dead cards in his hands, I'm sure he'd like him to stay there.
So 3 Deceiver Exarchs,
So it's
4 Splinter Twins, that's the package.
Yeah, I mean, even getting to peek at his hand, I think I saw Terminus in there, and that's one of those things in this matchup. When it's in his hand, it's useless, but on top of his deck, he can tap a top and Terminus in response to a Splinter Twin.
Yeah.
Now, I probably have to believe that when Deceiver came down, it would tap the top, but we'll see how that goes.
He just played a Vendilion Click as a land.
Yeah.
Oops. Don't worry, it's coming.
Details. I feel like you want to respond to that sack land with the click. Like, he obviously didn't like the cards on top of his deck.
Fair.
I mean, if you're going to cycle one through, at least make him draw a bad one.
Okay. Draw step.
Not that click is resolving. I guess he's force willing a handful of blue cards.
Vendilion Click at the end of the turn.
See, wow, I mean, that could have just especially when he tried to lay the click as a land. And that brainstorm could have very easily put the best one on top in case he gets clicked. Like I don't know. But his opponent sacked the sack land. That has to be the best sign.
With over 10. After him is Jimmy McCartney.
Vendilion Click resolving?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody wants to deal with that. It's like I can let him put the Pyroblast on the bottom of my deck and I can draw a random card or I can just stop it.
I have the standings, by the way. Good God, or Max Ambro's tiebreaker's terrible. Charlie Holland's in 6th place with 64.3% match win percentage. Opponent's match win percentage. Max is 55.4. He's 9 percentage points back. Not 0.9. It's 8.9.
Yeah, most of the 8 and 2s have a better tiebreaker.
Sam, in particular, has 75%. Has 20 percentage points higher opponent's match win percentage. So Sam's clearly in as the X2 in 7th place if he wins.
There's Counterbalance top, lined up.
Victoria Ezel and Kevin King are 67.8,
Spell Snare.
67.4.
That is definitely something we haven't seen a lot of.
And then another Vendilion Click.
So he is going to go to flashback that Pyro and Pyro it. I think that'll get forced.
Yeah.
I think his opponent has a force. We'll see if he has a blue card to force back, and if he wants to. I think he would want to. I mean, it means getting your Snapcaster in play, keeping their click out of play.
There you go. It looks like a Deceiver Exarch.
And it begins.
Not like this.
Like this.
Top on upkeep. Sees a Jace.
Yeah, I mean, Attack, fire a Jace at him. See how many times he can react to your spells.
Looks like he's got a counter spell in hand.
Well, I think you'd rather cast one of the ones in the yard.
Oh, he's got the blast in the yard, yeah.
Yeah, I keep thinking one of the cards that people play with is Mask's Counterspell, and then every time I find out what it is in their hand, it never ends up being Mask's Counterspell.
What is it? Well, he is playing with Mask's Counterspell.
Oh, okay.
That's in his...
No, I meant his opponent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Vintage trial players. If you have made
Legacy, a format where two Snapcaster mages attack past each other for several turns.
Yeah.
Also, if you have made 920 works, you can also proceed to the side of the stage to collect your prizes.
So on which side of this matchup do you want to just leave your Snapcaster? Okay, I guess we've answered that question. Just tap your Snapcaster? Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Tap your top.
Oh. Did he know that like...
I'm not sure.
Well, he didn't go for it anyway.
There's the top. He's going to counterspell top.
It is Mask's Counterspell.
Yeah.
Killing me.
He's going to Snapcaster Mage.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Well, let's hope the top card of his deck is a Jace.
There's counterbalance. A little drama here. All right. Infinity Fairies. Flip it. Oh, it's counterspell.
Gaggenzauber.
Max Ansbro takes game one with Splinter Twin.
Wow, here we go.
He has no matches to give. An X2 can get in, but it can't be him.
Right.
Yeah, his breakers are awful.
Sam Roukas, by the way, I mean, heartbreak here. He was 8-0. 8-0.
Wow.
If he loses
8-3 in that order is a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Wow. All right. So what do we think happens here after sideboard? I mean, we've seen Sam enough times now.
Well, the two surgical extractions I think are tough. They are brutal. Red Elemental Blast, obviously great. Vidalian Click, Flusterstorm, Wear Tear. He has a lot of tools. Seems like a lot of splash damage from other decks.
Yeah, but what's he taking out? Like, do you take out your creature removal, or do you want the ability to kill a creature in response to the combo? Like Plows, Terminus?
I mean, is this something similar to the last time when we saw him take out like Counterbalance and some of the slower stuff and just try and get some creatures in play and kill his opponent while taking away his opponent's plan to win? Like, you leave in the Plows. And I mean, I don't think you need many Terminus, but you might want to have one to just keep on top of your deck when you run into it, just in case you want to tap a top and do it as an instant. But I think you just fill up with Red Elemental Blasts and Clicks and Wear Tear, and you try and keep them off of.
At that point, do you want your Monastery Mentors?
I believe you do.
Yeah.
So if he wants his Monastery Mentors, does that mean that Max Ansbro wants his Sulfur Elementals?
Once you explain what it does, I might be able to answer that.
It gives white creatures -1 toughness.
Man, people go deep in the tank for this tournament. I love it.
I believe it has Flash, right?
Yeah, it's a creature with Flash and
3 mana.
It's +1/-1 to white creatures.
+1/-1.
Oh. That sounds great. I mean, so he's got Pyroblast.
It even has Split Second.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
There's no stopping it.
Nope, Flash Split Second. That's guys resolving.
Flusterstorm, Pyroblast, I think this is more one of those matchups where you want less Force of Wills than more Force of Wills. Like, I don't think the
On which
misdirections
side?
come in on either side. Like, I think this is a game that develops on both sides. I don't think
Okay.
it's something where you're just trying to stop a show and tell and stop from keep yourself.
No,
from
I
losing
agree.
on the
Totally
spot.
agree with that.
I actually think both players will probably go down to 2 Force of Wills. Maybe the person on the play is 1 or 2 Force of Wills. The person on the draw is 2
I feel like
Force of
Sam's
Wills.
side might need more because he has to make sure he doesn't get comboed off. Right, Max doesn't have that
It depends
same
on the-
oops, he won the game with Infinity Fairies thing going on. You're just gonna have enough blast that
I think you just have enough.
they can't win till turn 4, so by then you should be able to do things other than Force
Right,
of Will
you
to
should
stop
have
it.
you should have been topping and brainstorming, and I think you have blasts up and counters up, and
Maybe.
you have the option to click them, and then really get an idea of where they're at.
Max has sideboarded, shuffled, and presented his deck. He's like, I'm ready to go. I haven't
Yep.
lost since round 1.
Yeah.
Fight.
Win and in for a top 8 that'll happen in the morning.
Sam might be in that super extra shuffle mode. You know, if you
Nah.
lose it.
Yeah, like down a game.
That tomorrow morning is 9:30 local time?
8:30.
It's 8:30 local time.
Yeah.
More
8:30
magic all day.
8:30 local time. The WMCQ top 8 starts at 9:30 local time.
Got it. But Legacy starts at 8:30. What time does the Vintage start?
I'm not.
Is it
I'm
10?
not-
It might be 9. It's either 9 or 10.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, I
It's
know
kind
that the Legacy top 8 does overlap the first round or two of Vintage.
Right. All right, we're underway. Both players kept 7.
Yeah, I mean, opener does appear to have. First, I thought it was a back to basics, but it's not on this list. Maybe there is still counterbalance, but I mean, saw a couple red blasts. I think there is a Force of Will in that hand, or maybe it's Flusterstorm. Yeah, but this is not a game where they're red blasting draw spells. We've moved beyond that point.
Well, there's counterbalance. It is going to
Wow.
get Force of Will.
Exarch.
Deceiver Exarch goes right, yeah. 3 Deceiver Exarch, 3 Splinter Mites, Pester Mites in the deck.
Well, that surprises me. I mean, I don't think Deceiver Exarch living through Lightning Bolt would be a big deal in this format. Enough to go 4 and 2.
Right? Players are just playing Randy Bueller style Magic now.
Draw go. Draw go. Play
Indeed.
land.
Lots of blue in Max's hand there. So it's all 3 on top. And shuffles. Another counterbalance.
I think he's going to start fighting here.
Counterspell, yep.
Blast. Yeah, Max clearly does not want counterbalance in play against him. He's left his Force of Wills in. This is the card I think he's got them in the deck to make sure it doesn't happen.
He's going to brainstorm here.
This is decide which blue card to pitch.
Well, he knew 2 of the 3 cards already from the Ponder. Yeah, he knew the Wear Tear and the Fetch Land.
And if he does Force of Will, he's going to get it Pyroblasted. That is the problem with Force of Will after sideboarding.
Even if he does or doesn't, because I think he has a dig in hand.
All right, counterbalance resolves. He wants to Wear Tear it, I guess?
I guess so.
Can't
Wow,
Pyroblast Wear Tear.
that seems incredibly dangerous.
to customer service immediately. Michael Aerosmith to customer service immediately.
It's a
And now the
4.
Jace is there.
Wow, yeah, that Jace needed to be there for that Splinter Twin last game. But following up with Jace, not the worst thing in the world. That is a reasonable consolation prize.
Well, Force of Will's going to happen, right?
It's still going to get red blasted.
True. Is there a blast for Max yet? I think he's got a Snapcaster. No blast in his yard, though, right?
No blast on his side yet. Yeah, I think is his
And
hand
he's
Force of Will, Dig, Snapcaster? I'm not sure what the middle card is. Oh,
All right, here comes
might be counter spell.
Jace with Blast back up.
Dig is a response?
Could be Dig as a response.
And then, do you blast it if you're Sam?
I think
Chase
dig
on the
is
stack?
I think dig is incredibly useful in that deck when you're trying to piece together a
Yeah.
combo.
So you
I don't
blast
think
it
you-
even-
I
even
think
though
you
Jace
have
is still
to
on the
blast
stack.
dig.
Snapcaster for Snapcaster for counterspell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, his mana lets him Snapcaster to potentially flashback a counterspell. Sam sees it, so Pyroblast Snapcaster.
So now,
Now Force of
Force of
Will.
Will
Wow.
with dig through. Really?
Wow, force pitching dig. Don't you dig?
Dig?
don't you dig in response
Yes.
and get 2 cards and then
Yes.
pitch 1 to Force of Will?
Yes. 100% yes.
Oh no. 'cause
Oh, okay. He wants the Snapcaster.
he wants the 2/1 in play.
Wouldn't you rather have the other card from the dig than a 2/1?
I mean, it depends on the matchup. It depends on getting just any clock in play changes the flow of the game that much.
Yeah, and you're going to top deck Vendilion Click. This makes it all much better. Now we're up
Brainstorm
to
helps.
5 power.
Now, do we have a question about whether or not that has resolved? Or okay.
He brainstormed his response, let the click come into play, blasted it with the trigger on the stack.
No, I think he just countered it.
Yeah, I think he can.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Works either way.
Well, except he doesn't have to discard whatever that is, or let his opponent.
There's
do it.
engineered explosives for 0. What's the engineered explosives for 0 for? He's just assuming that there's Monastery Mentor tokens or Young Pyromancer tokens or something.
Well, this is starting to set up here if he... Oh, I thought he drew Counterbalance. I thought his hand was Counterbalance and Snapcaster.
Gets Sam below 10, goes to 9 here. There's the
There's the
counterbalance.
Counterbalance.
Has he drawn 3 of those this game?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
So, I mean,
Attempts
it's,
Jace.
I think you...
First, yeah. Just checking.
Yeah, I think you snapped for some sort of counter out of the yard, whether it's a red blast or something else. I think you picked red elemental blast, so they can't misdirect it to a permanent. Well, I guess there's only one card in his opponent's hand, so that's kind of a moot point.
Okay. Snapcaster's trade.
But I mean, now he knows his opponent is sitting there with a counterbalance with Brainstorm in hand.
Yeah. Oh. So Sam goes to Brainstorm to set up a counterspell for the Brainstorm, but Pyroblast.
Oh,
the random flip.
Oh boy.
And
I
bet
mean, he
this
would
one
have
hits
just
too.
countered it. But when there's a 1 on top, you don't have to.
Wow.
And I think we're going on to game 3.
And that's an Aether. Is that an Aethersworn
Yes,
Canonist?
that is a
Yes.
Canonist. Let's slow it down.
Yeah, Sam had a copy of the card Counterspell, so he could have counterspelled the Pyroblast if he had to in order to defend his counterbalance, but may as well take a free flip.
Yeah.
No, don't have to use the counterspell.
Is that the guy you were talking
that's
about?
also
That's
elemental.
Does not kill Aethersworn Canonist, though. It
Makes
actually,
him a 3/1.
I think it makes him a 3/1.
Ponder, quick shuffle there.
I will say Sam does move this deck along at a very good pace.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell he knows his deck really well.
players have 3 power creatures staring at each other. A 3/2 and a 3/1.
Seems fair.
7 to 15, so Sam definitely does have to play defense. What did he just do? 2 ponders doesn't work when you have an Aether Queen
Oh,
corner.
he had the Aether Swing Canonist in play.
Where do we go from here?
Is he already looking at the ponder cards?
Yeah, I mean, he has the ability to look at the exact same 3 cards off of top, but it doesn't change the fact that he cast 2 ponders, and he has put 1 in his hand. I mean, it is.
Oh, here's the new rule.
Yes.
You looked at an extra card, so your opponent gets to Thoughtseize you. Right?
Yep.
Max gets to decide. I mean, this used to be a game loss,
Is it
and
vanilla
which was
click
just too harsh. It's
Yeah.
choose 1 to shuffle in, is what it is. So Max chooses which of Sam's card is going to be shuffled in as the extra card that he shouldn't have.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, game loss for something like that was just
wildly
too harsh.
preferable to a game loss
Right.
here.
And this this should be in Max's benefit, right? Sam's the one who messed up, so rather than try to figure out what the card actually was to put it back in, or Max just gets to pick one.
Yep. Oh, this is a great example of a good rule change in effect. Yeah, I was just about to say that Canonist actually seems really rough. Like,
I mean, I guess if Max is the one who has more cantrips, is that even true? It doesn't even sound right.
I'm not sure. Let's say Sam wins this game. I'm not sure we see Canonist in game 3. Like, if they get to cast Dig every time you ponder, that's just not where you want to be.
Ponder, excellent.
Even if you're doing instants on their turn, like I think the way this matchup works, you're just stuck not casting spells if you've got the Canonist in play, and they're just perfecting their hand, just waiting for a point where they either do something to the Canonist, or you cast a spell on your turn, and all of a sudden their Exarch is on the table. Here's another one.
Oh,
Let's see
wow.
if we can kill that Canonist.
Yeah, that kills it. It's
Wow.
split second flash, so you can't counter it.
Oh.
Well, I guess you can trigger counterbalance.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't check his counterbalance.
Counterbalance does in fact trigger. You can't add things to the stack when a split second spell is on the
Wait,
stack.
is counterbalance non-creature, or is it just any spell?
Any
No,
spell?
it's anything. He should have looked. Oh, you know what? I think he knew.
He probably knew.
I think he knew what the top card was.
Okay, so Vendilion Click's coming down. And we're going to get a brainstorm in response to the click.
Yeah, if nothing else, even if you don't have a 1, you're putting that top right back.
Yeah. I mean, he's got his combo. He's just losing on board.
All right. What's the hand? I think there's a...
Snap, Splinter, and 2 lands.
What is it? Island Plateau, Snap, Splinter Twin, yeah.
Now this click has to just trade with a Sulfur Elemental, right? Chose to get rid of the Snapcaster Mage. That makes sense.
Seems like the right call.
I mean, Snapcaster's flashback doesn't do a whole lot with, the Canonist is gone now, but that's why the Snapcaster hasn't been able to do a whole lot. And Sam, cracked a fetch land, so he's at 5. The unblocked Sulfur Elemental is going to drop him to 2. He basically requires an answer to the other Sulfur Elemental immediately.
Yeah.
Jace doesn't actually count.
All right.
Trade with 1, take 3
Looks
down
like
to
the
2.
Jace is what he threw on top, though. Unless there was a 3 in there with the Jace.
Ponder. There's a
It's a
dig through
dig.
time.
And no Canonist around to prevent him from going off. So close. He's got dividing top counterbalance. He must force this game 3 if he wants to top 8.
That too. I mean, there's no more than this for having your back against the wall. Is that a click and something?
I thought I saw a click.
Yeah, it was click and something. I think another dig through time.
There's the click. It resolves. Wow, Sam's gonna win this, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. And I think you leave all 3
Yeah,
cards
that's
there.
what he did. He's like, you can
Whoa,
keep
why did he
those.
just... Oh,
He clicked upkeep
he must have clicked upkeep.
rather than draw step.
So counterspell your dig through time. Here comes Jace. Wow.
Yeah, there we go. Start at the ceiling.
Now you just have to hope he pushes, right?
Yeah. Looks like a counter spell off the... Oh, no. Is that a click of his own? I don't even know if he runs click. Yeah, he does. I think that was a click of his own.
Who, oh yeah. He has,
Yeah.
main deck 2 Vendilion clicks.
Counterspell stops that.
Wow.
Yeah, and the cards on top of his deck are to will at the top and a land, so he knows that there's no help coming there for his counterbalance. Oh, actually, depending on what he drew. So, maybe one more random card.
Splinter Twin on Sulfur Elemental.
Right? I mean, that sounds great.
Gets countered.
Yeah, make a token, have it attack you. Make a token, have it attack you. It's fine. It's the worst feeling when it doesn't push.
Yeah, well, he had
Time to crack the fish.
yeah, Catafetch land waiting.
Leaves one on top. Crack the fish man.
It's one of those things, and every time they have a fetch land, I leave it on top.
Yeah, no matter what
It
it
could
is.
just be the best card.
I'm going to leave your perfect card on top. So you shuffle it away.
Though, when you do it that way, you just feel better when they shuffle away a good card rather than you're pushing it. Like, what if they've got the read?
No,
they
if
just
you-
don't shuffle. But they draw their best card.
No, but if you know you're going to leave it there before you peek, they never have the read. You just glance, yeah, you can keep it.
All right, Pestermite,
And
but it's going to get
yes, you have to get that sack land off the table if you actually want to be
Blasted.
fake sealing them.
All right.
leaves the card on top this time. It's a fetch land, though. That's going to come back to haunt them.
So there we go. Yep, that one's good.
Plays the second
Yeah,
top.
there's no question. It's just
I'm never sacking another fetch land against you. It's fine.
You understand this is all a long con by Bob for the next season of VSL.
yes, yes, indeed.
Is Jace going to get all blowed up here? We're going to see an ultimate?
It's over.
It's over, yeah.
So I'd prefer you didn't look through my deck. Thank you very much.
On to game 3.
Wow.
It was a heck of a fight by Sam.
Yeah, he was down to 2,
Yeah,
had no loss.
down to 2, back against the wall,
Yeah.
8-0 to 8-2, down a game at 2 life. Like, he's got to get up and walk for a second. It's like, okay, come on.
He's like, excuse me, I gotta go do something. Vomit.
Times like this, I wish it was Tom Gavin in that seat.
Oh yeah.
The stream of consciousness that would be coming out of his mouth right now would be incredible.
A stream of invective.
A lot of it's just crazy.
But
I can appreciate his brand of crazy, though.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed.
Entertaining. Even when we were on the other side of the table, it was entertaining.
Because it wasn't just invective. It was more crazy than invective. Tight Tommy Gavin.
whew. So Max is like, I'm here. I'm not moving. I don't need. No, I'm fine. I don't need anything.
My back has been against the wall for hours and hours and hours.
It's the only thing holding me up at this point.
If you just think this is the first time going into Game 3 for my elimination, you got another thing coming.
Yeah. Again, if you
8:30 for the top 8.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we're watching Max Ansbro, who started off this tournament with 1 loss. Started with 1 loss. 2 losses was unlikely to make top 8.
Yes.
Looks like
it
we
is
will
possible.
have 1 or 2.
1 or 2, but it will not be Max Ansbro if he loses this match. His tiebreakers are abysmal.
Yeah. He only trails the next person in the standings by 20 percentage points of opponent's match win percentage. Like 2-0, then the decimal point. That person being Sam Roukas.
Who can win and
he'll-
very, very likely if he wins gets into the top 8.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which would then open up another spot
for either
another X2 player.
Kevin King or Victoria Ezel.
Have we
Is
confirmed
Victoria
whether
the one?
dressed as Stoneforge
Dressed as
Mystic? Yes.
I don't know. I did see her at the top
so.
tables
Yes,
earlier.
I believe that is her, yes.
She's Stoneforge Mystic?
Yes. Not clear if she's playing Stoneforge Mystic or not. I haven't.
If she's not, big
It's
tip
brilliant.
Of the hat.
Yeah.
Big tip of the hat.
It's a lovely misdirection.
Right, like you said, Mountain Goblin Guide, go. Players shuffling up. Game 3. Last round of the Swiss. Win or go home.
This is a stressful time. I
Now, I gotta ask you that. You say that because I think the persistent image of Bob Marr playing under the lights is that you are never stressed. That you've always. I mean, do you feel that stress?
see, the hiccup is I'm always stressed. So when it comes down to that last
That's
match,
the secret.
Yeah,
I'm
no, but-
always angry.
I always think I'm losing. I'm always imagining the worst. I always believe my opponents have the perfect cards in their hand. And that's when it comes down to this match, I can't look any more perplexed than I do every other match. But actually, a lot of it just comes from experience. I mean, once you get a few tournaments under your belt and you don't really feel like you have a whole lot left to prove, it does become easier.
Sure.
And in those early tournaments where I felt like I kind of made my way, made my name, I was way up in the Swiss. So like my last couple rounds were just handshakes. So
Interesting. I felt the exact opposite. The first Pro Tour I top 8, well, the only Pro Tour I actually top 8'd, it was no pressure at all. Like my goal was just to qualify for the next one. I'd already locked it up, so I felt like this is great. Like this is all just gravy. There's no pressure at all. But then like, okay, you've won a Pro Tour. You're trying to get that second top 8. I felt way more pressure, way more expectations.
Oh,
the second time.
Well, here we go again in this match. Well, I was going to say I was hanging around for a while, and once you start getting the name of the best player without a top 8,
Sure.
that's just a little bit you're just looking to shake.
Sure,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right.
I was some guy at the time, so I didn't have that problem.
Both players kept their openers here. Ponder for Sam. No plays yet for Max. Just a couple fetch lands in play, actually.
oh
Is he not going to have a third land
yeah.
here?
This is one not like this. Move to my discard step.
Ouch.
What did he he discarded a
The
might?
might.
Yeah. Does he not have a brainstorm or something?
I have no horse in this game, but please draw a land. like this to just turn into a game of Magic.
There's a third fetch land.
And of course, if you're Sam Roukas, the right play is to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
If you play something that can get counterspelled, then he'll stop discarding.
Yeah, counterspelled or red blasted or whatnot. He's like, I'm gonna get this Pestermite out here. I am tired of discarding.
Please tell me you have no stifles.
Yeah.
My fetch land.
I'm gonna sack all of these, and if you stifle one of them, I'm gonna pick up the rest of my cards and shuffle them all together because it's over.
All right.
Now
Deceiver
Sam
X-
can fight. Max is on 3 land. He's only got 6 cards in his hand. You want to stop Deceiver Exarch before Max untaps.
He's
Which
tapping
way?
a red though. I really think this is something you
You'd
plow.
plow? Yeah, I was looking at the plow as well.
Oh no, he just let his red mana get tapped.
resolve. That's always a little scary against the Splinter Twin deck.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, mana. Your opponent has discarded a couple of times. You're ahead on resources. This is just tricky.
I mean, in point of fact, I think Sam feels like I have a plow, I have a blast. I'm going to win the fight over any Splinter Twin. I don't know, though. I'd rather just not even have to fight that fight and find out, right?
Yeah, save that fight for later.
Another Exarch.
Now I
yeah,
have
now-
the plow. Yeah, now I'm happy I'm sitting on that plow. I can take 2 a turn for a while.
There's a Ponder.
If nothing else, I'm happy Max got to play Magic this game.
Oh yeah. Sam's feeling it. He's a little like, oh wait a minute, maybe. This nightmare of the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Plows 1.
I think I would have waited a little longer.
Right, he's so constrained on mana, you feel like he's gonna maybe just try to push in with a Splinter Twin or
I don't
something.
think he's going to, but I like having the answer.
Okay. There's top. Top gets countered.
That I feel like I would fight over.
Especially because he's got
He's counterbalance in his
I believe
hand.
he's got a counterbalance either in his hand or on top of his
It's
deck.
in his hand.
Now the lands are coming.
Maybe now that he plowed one, he's just counting on the red blasts to take the other deceiver off the board, and he just doesn't want to fight with those. It's just when you red blast something, you're just requiring your opponent to respond with real counters.
So counterbalance on the stack.
I'm not sure why you need the extra mana here before starting this.
What could go wrong by getting the extra mana? Maybe he's going to brainstorm.
You could draw a brainstorm.
Yeah.
Is he going to hardcast Force Will? No. He's going to dig.
Oh,
That's why you shuffle
That's why.
first.
There you go.
Okay.
There's the blast.
Yeah, now you're
of the
forcing your opponent to
blasts.
have a blue counter, which he doesn't. He has red blast, Splinter Twin, Force of Will with no blue card.
But now, a series of red blasts in hand for Max Ambro.
If Max draws a blue card, does he win? Isn't this
Oh, he's got Splinter Twin and Blast.
Yeah, I think this is...
and Force of Will blue card?
Yes.
Yep.
Here
Yeah.
it goes.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Didn't Max discard twice this game?
No, this is going to be Snapcaster to red blast your guy. And
Sure.
then he's going to Force a Will,
Which
and
you
he's
can
going to red
force.
blast the Force a Will.
Oh, and he's going to wind up with a red blast left and nothing
Not
blue
if
to
he
point
goes
it
to
at?
get those lands.
Yeah, Sam should do his best to fight this fight with red cards rather than blue ones. Because he should know that Max has blasts.
Does he just lose if these are the lands he goes to get? Does he have a Flusterstorm in his hand or something I'm not considering? Maybe he's going to get the plow?
I think he's going to get the plow.
All right, so
Snapcaster
Snapcaster,
mage.
you can blast that one.
Oh, there
He
is a
does
Fluster
have a Fluster Storm. Wow. And the Fluster Storm, did he just point it all at the Pyroblast? He should counter. Oh, you can't counter Splinter Twin. It's an enchantment. Never mind. Okay. So Fluster Storm can counter the Pyroblast.
Okay.
But there's still
a Force of Will.
There's still blue Force Will, yeah.
Yeah, like
Why did he not get two Volcanics?
does
Does he
he-
has
I
a
also
Red Blast and an untapped Tundra?
right.
Why
So
does he have an untapped Tundra?
So Fluster Storm, that's done.
yeah,
He's
this
like-
is one of those things where
because he's planning on casting the Swords to Plowshares.
Oh, he's gonna. But the Snapcaster's getting Force of Willed.
Oh.
yep. And
You
now,
need to blast
and now
this.
he should be able to blast the
Max
Exarch, and he
Ansbro
can't.
wins. He loses round 1 of this tournament and then wins 10 more in a row.
Wow.
He will be the top seed
Unbelievable.
going into the top 8 tomorrow here
He
at the
probably
Legacy
is.
Championship.
Unbelievable.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, because he decided he wanted to plow out of the graveyard instead of Red Blast out of the graveyard, it just left